Well, hey kids and parents, welcome to another Midweek Kids lesson. And the last couple weeks of teaching, we have talked about how God sent 10 plagues on Egypt and Pharaoh so that they would let God's people be set free. And so at this point in the story, God is leading his people out of the land of Egypt, and he's taking them to a land that he promised them. If you want to look with me at Exodus 13, verses 21 through 22, it says, "By day the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud to guide them on their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so that they could travel day or night. Neither the pillar of cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night left its place in front of the people." So could you imagine that? Could you imagine you're walking along and there's a big pillar of fire, a big tower of fire right in front of you that's going ahead of you to lead the way. It says that the tower of fire or cloud never left them. God promises us that he will never leave us. He will never forget us. And he is always with us. And so based on this, we're going to do an activity that talks about how God will lead his people. All right, kids, let's learn how to make a big fire. I'm just kidding. But we are going to do a craft about a pillar of fire and a pillar of cloud together. For this craft, we'll need cotton balls, crayons or colored pencils, glue, popsicle sticks, orange and yellow tissue paper, and paper. You can use regular paper and make your own, or you can go to stpaulsgifford.org/Sunday School and you can print off the paper we have right here. You can get more instructions for this craft on that same website. Parents, if you need any of these craft items, please let me know. And when you're all done, it'll look something like this. Our God stays with his people. And so he was leading the Israelites out of slavery and into freedom. But then Pharaoh, who would let the Israelites go, he had a thought. He thought, hey, wait a minute. I'm losing all my free workers here. I better go get them back. And so Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he and his army got up and they went out to bring the Israelites back to Egypt. I want to read for you a part from the Jesus Storybook Bible. Highly recommend this book. It points us to Jesus throughout the whole Bible, the Old and New Testament. What were God's people going to do? In front of them was a big sea. It was too big, and there was no way around it. And they couldn't turn back because Pharaoh was chasing them. They could see the flashing swords now, glinting in the baking sun, and the dust clouds and chariot after scary chariot surging towards them. So they did the only thing there was left to do.
Panic!
"Do not be afraid," Moses said. "But there's nothing we can do," they screamed. "God knows you can't do anything," Moses said. "God will do it for you. Trust him and watch." "But there's no way out," they cried. "God will make a way," Moses said. And he told the Israelites to be quiet. Can we play the quiet game together? Another minute, and it would have been all over. But the strangest thing happened. God made the pillar of smoke move. It moved behind his people and hid them from the Egyptians. Then God sent a strong east wind to blow all night long, until it blew it into two towering walls of water. And God's people walked across on dry land. When the Egyptians tried to follow, the walls of water crashed back down on them and swallowed them up. God's people were safe. They danced and laughed and sang and thanked God. Where there had been no way out, God had made a way. Many years later, once again, God was going to make a way where there was no way. So Jesus, he brings us out of slavery to sin, slavery to this world, and slavery to the devil. Jesus sets us free. In the gospel, Jesus talks about his exodus, and that's the name of the book of the Bible we're talking about. Jesus talks about him leaving this earth. He's talking about him dying for our sins. That's Jesus' exodus. That's where Jesus left this world. That's the way God made for us to be free. And then he rose again from the dead. He exited the grave. He left it. He left the tomb behind. And then he went up to heaven, left this world, and sits with God the Father. And he prays for us. And he's with us. And he saves everyone who says, Jesus, I trust you, and means it in their hearts. Reminder that this Sunday, October 25th, is going to be our trunk or treat here in the church parking lot, and I would love to see each and every one of you out here. Come and get some candy. We're going to have hot dogs. It's going to be a really fun time. So join us. It's from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., and come on out and have some fun. And until next week, may God bless you.